Welcome to Cosgrove. The year is 2020. I'm Wayne Smith on behalf of the Parish Council, and I wish to take the time to thank Colin Kitely, Wendy Page and Sue Blake for all the very hard work they do in bringing the history of Cosgrove together. Today's dedication and unveiling of the bench by Colin is testament to the very hard work that has taken place. Just want to thank David Smith as well for laying the wreath today, and also thanks to Mark and Ollie for putting down the foundations for today's unveiling. Thank you to everybody also for their donations, helping to buy the bench.
Well, thanks Wayne, thanks everyone for turning up. Most people who are watching this probably don't know the hell I am, but I am a Cosgrove boy. I've lived in Cosgrove all my life, and later on you'll see David Smith laying the wreath here. There is also another Cosgrove boy. Him and his brother Robert live next door to me nearly all our lives. So we are Cosgrove boys. Why did the bench come about? If you look up the church, what have we got? We've got a wall plaque, we've got a couple of wall memorials, that's it. There's no cenotaph, there's no real point of remembering those that made the ultimate sacrifice or those that served and survived. When you look around the other villages, they've got something, they've got a focal point. And when you look at Wendy Page's and Sue Blake, what they've done to the Cosgrove history page, you will see that signing up for the volunteering for the First World War, the percentage of people from Cosgrove who actually signed up against other villages was better than anyone. And I think in the end, the First World War, there's between 23 and 26 people who remembered on the boards that lost their lives. I've actually found another 7, and the reason why I got involved is I think about 15 years ago I looked at the war memorial, and if you go on the internet now there's called a Roll of Honour, which is all throughout the country, and someone's put together all the pictures from all the villages, towns, cities with the names of the dead and potted history. When you looked at Cosgrove, it just says F Green, no known details. Well, I found out that Frederick Green is not Frederick Green. His name was Eli. So when you look up Eli Frederick, you find all his details. So I think in 1922, they sat down the village hall or somewhere and come up with all the war dead and made a list. And he was Fred. You know, everyone knew him as Fred, not Eli. And so that's what happened, I think. They come up with these names, and some of them, one served out of Canada, left here. And now, when modern times have come, I've gone on the internet and I've found another 7 people that have actually linked to the village that died in the First or Second World War. One of them happens to be on my family tree. I do a lot of family tree. All right, he is my second cousin, third removed, but he's still on my family tree. And he's not a Kitely, he's a Gascoigne. So I've got the 7 names, which I shall read out later on. Wendy Page has told me that on Sunday all the names that are on the church were read out, but I would do these other ones. So that's really the history behind it. Wendy came up with the idea of a bench because we looked at a cenotaph or an obelisk somewhere, too much money. So Wendy saw this bench with Captain Atkinson going to war on his horse. We've got a war horse bench, and the funding of it, where did it come from? So we decided to put donations, and also I sold some of my postcards, which if you haven't got some, I've still got some left. A good deal I can do you if you want some, so see me. Unfortunately with COVID, I'd have been selling them at church events and different bits and pieces, but that's not been the case. We did raise enough money to get the bench. We've got a bit more. I want to thank the Parish Council because they've let us site it here, which I think is a really good spot. I think Yardley Road sign will be moved, so don't worry about looking at the back of Yardley Road sign. I am now looking to do a plaque that goes on the back of the church with all these extra names that I've come up with, so that next year, when the memorial service is, we can actually remember those as well. The real difficulty that Sue, Wendy and myself have is trying to find out those that served. Those that died, unfortunately, it's probably easier to find out who's died, but not who served. Most of the records were lost during the Blitz and bombings of London. So who served is a real difficulty. So we're still looking for people associated with the village that have got relatives that served in first, second, any conflict, even present to the future. We want to remember and put it on the website. So that's where we are. Like I say, we have come to the bench. All right, it's draped in a cloth, but I think it represents what the First World War probably meant. It was a bit sort of tattered and torn, and there is the bench. I hope it gets well used, and thanks everyone, thanks the Parish Council, thank everyone for donating, not just people in Cosgrove, but I know that my friends have donated. I know that someone from Portugal's donated. We're still taking donations. We're looking to do a silent soldier, and so there it is, the bench. So thanks everyone.
Well done, Colin. On behalf of everybody in Cosgrove, thank you very much for all of your very hard work and selling your postcards and everything you've done. I hope this isn't the end stood here this morning with obviously making this area look as nice as possible. We are still raising funds, as Colin said, for the Silent Soldier, and hopefully some more funds for the plaque and getting those names that are currently unrecognised recognised. So thank you very much for all of your efforts.
Can I just read out the 7 names?
Yeah. Yes.
There are 6 in the First World War and 1 in the Second World War. So these names are come up with Private John K. Farey. He was the first and died in 1915. George Robert Knight died in 1915. It's my third cousin twice removed. Edwin George Gascoigne died in 1917. Second Lieutenant Harold Nicholson Lewis, who was actually a military medalist. Private Arthur Bernard Braun and Corporal Albert Joseph Branson. And also, Second War, if you remember the date, Captain John Hornsby Max died 6th of June 1944, died on D-Day. Some of these are old Stratford people, most of them are Cosgrove people or linked to Cosgrove. So hopefully we'll remember them next year.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow we gave out today.